throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that. Shut them haters up, you know we go so hard. Chopper hit up in they face, yeah, I'm a bulldog. Number one is what we holding, number one is what we stand. When you step out on that field, let them know you ain't playing. Step back in that pocket, launch it off like a rocket. Pass the pill, run the ball, either way they ain't gon' stop it. Bring that trophy back and let them know the CH got it locked up from the east to west, north to the south, and they can't top it. That defense they holding, that O-line be blocking. Check your Facebook, them bulldogs, they tryna top it. Them corners on they job, they receivers, they gon' lock it. And don't try and punt the ball because that D-line gon' block it. They know we coming hard, they know we coming strong. Let them haters do they talking, Chopper here deserves the throne. Yeah, we sit at number one, they know we can't be cloned. Now it's time to handle business, gonna bring that title on. Work, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that. This shit is our year, so we gon' shut it down and handle that and let them haters know another L. Say we not hearing that. Blue and gold, I be wearing that. Them other teams, we not fearing that. That competition ain't nothing, bulldog country boy, we gon' bring it back. This shit is our year, so we gon' shut it down and handle that and let them haters know another L. Say we not hearing that. Blue and gold, I be wearing that. Them other teams, we not fearing that. That competition ain't nothing, bulldog country boy, we gon' bring it back. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma throw that blue and gold up.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Bulldogs Network. I'm Brett Swinney, alongside Corey Marshall and Vincent Johnson. Fellas,
we here.
It's weird. It's a Thursday.
Yeah, a Thursday. We need a slogan for Thursday nights.
We don't really have one. Right top of my head. We don't. I don't know that we've ever had anything on Thursday before, but we've got a special guest coming on this evening. He's be with us momentarily, but I think my Thursday just froze him. He didn't have a reaction to it. He got stuck.
He got Corey? Stuck. Look at him.
Did we lose you, Corey?
Coach Marsh.
Hey, wait. He has Suddenlink, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
There you go.
That's what happened. He has Suddenlink. They shut down the office, so they must have shut the internet down there too.
Yeah, right before he about to go live, they shut it off. They said, "No, don't let him do that."
He's been sitting at home all day. I don't feel sorry for him, Vince.
Nah, not at all. I've been working all day.
Yeah,
Just got in the house.
Yeah, me too. I've got my my frozen pizza dinner here.
Oh, you lucky. I ain't got no dinner yet. I ain't gonna get nothing till after this. So I get comfortable.
And I barely got it in. I threw it in after getting home from basketball practice with Cam tonight. And
okay.
He must have got a reprieve from Sudlink. His service was restored.
Yeah.
Corey Marshall.
Hey, they
So the best thing about it is I heard all the smack y'all was talking. I hope you choke, and I hope you choke on whatever you was drinking. As Dave Chappelle say,
hey man, I'm gonna need another lease. I'm gonna need another line of credit.
As Dave Chappelle would say, as I sip my soda, I'm sure somebody spit in. You know. No, but on a Thursday, you try to test. See what happened was you tried to take my on a Thursday or my on a reference, and man, I got so upset and
it froze your whole internet there.
The camera just went away.
I was just trying to figure out if we'd ever done anything on Thursday. Usually
we didn't have a show on Thursday. We had it was the UIL show. We were talking about the realignment thing.
Oh, that's right. We did. We backed up the day. So those of you that are new to our show, we usually have our weekly wrap-up show on Wednesdays, 8:30. We go live every week. It's, Corey, Vince, myself, and sometimes we have a special guest. We had that last night. If you didn't catch that one last night, go back and watch it. We had Nick Alvarado he runs a girls basketball website for Texas. It was HSGBB.
Was it H? I thought it was T.
TX.
TX. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was a great show. We had a great time with Nick. He got to listen to us banter and go back and forth, and he was able to give us a lot of good input. Definitely a site that we'll be working with a lot more in the future. So to shout out to Nick and his team of a few. I guess he's got a couple of guys working with him to provide scores and standings and all kinds of stuff for girls basketball in Texas. It's a pretty awesome site. Definitely need to check it out. Also, we have a game tomorrow night. We'll be going on the road over to that enemy territory in White House, Texas, for a big matchup between Gilmer and Canton. The girls, both teams are fairly good this year, so it should be a great game. Believe Corey, Vince, and myself will be making the call, and Corey, we got our new cameraman. He's back. He's going to come back for us again.
Yeah, he's going to come back, and he had a good time. Had to give him some practice in, so I think he's going to be all right.
Hey, I like I said, that's awesome. I'm glad he enjoyed it enough to join us again. This one will be a little closer, so a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
And we broke down. We were like a pit crew. I love Pittsburgh. We were like a pit crew.
Hey, we went in, man. We came in and it was like boom, boom, boom.
and it was immediately on site on go.
And my head was like not attached to my body. I don't think.
No, I don't remember if you said like maybe 20 words the entire night on air. So it was a lot.
You had some moments. I was just like, man. And I was like, Brett, it's okay. Handle that. Me and Corey, we're good. We'll carry it. We'll carry it. Just do what you got to do.
I play practice. Yeah.
Well, I try to, it's a lot of stress, and hopefully we're going to relieve that. Actually, I was thinking tomorrow night maybe I let y'all maybe do a few things different. Maybe we still have everybody on the call, but maybe just do a little on-site training maybe. For those of you who don't know, I kind of been doing all of this the whole time, or for most of it. And so the good thing is I know how to do everything. The bad thing is I know how to do everything. And so Corey and Vince are going to kind of do some training. So that way, if something happens like the other night where we had an issue with the internet and the scoreboard didn't work, someone else can run the board also while I do some of the other stuff. So, but yeah, I've already got the internet situation on both locations, hopefully figured out. Pittsburgh and White House both. I've got Pittsburgh's got us a different way to get on, and So hopefully our stream will run a little better.
Yeah.
And then White House, I've talked to them and got that ironed out today too. So
inside joke, you call ahead. As long as you call ahead,
that's right. That's right. Well, I believe our special guest has arrived, Phyllis. I'd like to introduce former schoolmate of ours and Baylor alum, Chris Scott. Chris, I like your story. That's a nice one.
Okay, I like it.
Got my swag.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Man, you got connects. Hold on. You got connects that I've been trying to figure out. Where do you get something like that from, man? I've been.
Hey, look. The right people. You got to know the right people. But you know.
Okay, I still ain't met the right people yet.
I'll put a plug in for you.
I appreciate that.
So Chris, for those of you that are watching at home, Chris, tell us about kind of your story, like, you know, where you started. You know, you started from Chapel Hill, but where you went and kind of what you're doing now.
Yeah, man. I started on Farm to Market Road, 2767, Old Kilgore Highway, Jackson Elementary School, Chapel Hill Middle School, Chapel Hill High School, and then TJC, and then went off to Baylor. After Baylor, moved to DC, then Jersey for grad school, and after Jersey, been living in Vegas since 2010 and just doing my thing out in Vegas. Everybody thought that I was out in Vegas just partying up and living it up, but I've actually been out there working, trying to build a career, and it's been fantastic, man. And so now I make documentaries. I started politics, and now I'm doing documentaries. So that's the path. I mean, Brett, I still remember you been in high school and us golfing at the Overton Country Club with your dad.
That was some good times, man. Some good times. I don't get to play. I don't get to play near as much as I'd like to now. Kids kind of take up a lot of my time. Plus, been doing this, and so that's my extra free time is very limited these days. So I've got a question for you, Chris. So I know you reached out to us this week, and wanted to hop on with us, and you've got something going on here in Tyler. So we'll talk about that too. But I'm curious, like, what made you reach out? Like, did you catch one of our broadcasts or our show? I'm just curious.
No, I follow you guys, and I get my phone has notifications when you guys are live, and so I just always know what you guys are up to. When you guys started this, I thought this was so cool that you guys had this network. I always follow Corey's insights on Facebook. As outlandish as they are sometimes.
They have to be. See, it's clickbait. See, Vince, I told you.
I am a sucker for Corey's clickbait. And so, yeah, man, just been following you guys and just been like real impressed with what you guys are up to. And we have this documentary that we did on Baylor basketball. And if you remember back in 2003, Baylor was the center of all sports scandals, not just in college basketball, but in sports in general. You had a basketball player missing, come to find out his teammate killed him, and then you had a coach trying to cover up all of his misdeeds by saying that the deceased kid was selling drugs. I was at Baylor in 2003 working in the president's office when all this scandal broke. I was right there and saw it with my own eyes. And then in April 5th of last year, I'm in Indianapolis watching Baylor win the national championship with my own eyes. And so we have put together this outstanding documentary that details how Baylor went from being at the absolute worst to being at the absolute pinnacle of all sports. And it's a 3-part series. I reached out to you guys. First of all, you guys are my homeboys. You guys are from the same red dirt as I am, and you guys are sports fanatics. And I thought, man, I want sports fanatics to be involved with this project. I want them to understand the project. I want them to enjoy the project. And so when we found out that we were coming to Tyler, you guys were the first people that I contacted media-wise. And so thanks for making accommodations for having me on here. So, yeah, man, I just got into Texas today. And I'll be in Tyler on Saturday, and I want everyone to come out and watch this documentary.
Nice. And I'm gonna say this because I'm a huge college basketball fan more than I am NBA. I love Dallas Mavericks, by the way. I recall the scandal, and I can remember the head coach's name is Dave Bliss.
Dave
Um,
Bliss.
at the time, and I recall watching the game, and I remember when it kind of happened at the time, and I was like, "Why can I believe this?" I was just watching this kid play, a few weeks in advance before. I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" Like, maybe, and I was 18 at the time. Now I'm telling my age a little bit. I was 18 at the time, so I didn't really, think much of it. Now it's like fast forward and all of that happened, and now it's finally put in context for a documentary. And then ironically, from the time that happened till now, I'm like, from that epicenter of it's an embarrassment because because at the time Texas basketball, I hate to bring it up, Texas basketball was okay, and
Decent.
we got some Waco games, there. I guess it was a kind of a battle between who was going to get regional coverage games because it wasn't a lot of Texas basketball. A&M basketball wasn't that good either. So we got Baylor, we got Texas A&M. So I watched the Baylor basketball team quite a bit at the time, and I do recall. The team. I do recall Coach Dave Bliss, and I remember the interviews then at the time. And I remember reading the newspaper because I got the newspaper Saturday mornings, and that's how I keep up with the sports. And I remember the article, and so this kind of lit a light bulb. I'm like, he's doing a documentary on this. This is, I don't want to say it's cool, but at the same time, it's cool that happened. Then fast forward, 20 plus years later, you got a national championship team in the same coach.
Great point. They hired Scott Drew August of 2003 when I was at Baylor. I'm 41 years old now. And they hired him when I was in college. Think about how quick people are to fire their coach.
Yes.
I mean, you have coaches who are getting fired who made the tournament, right?
Yeah.
And so think about 18 years, Baylor stuck with Coach Drew and his vision, and national championship. This actually should have been 2 championships, actually 3.
Yeah.
The 2008 Duke game that the charge was called. It was a blocking foul, but it was really a charge. We go on to lose the Duke game. Duke goes on to win the national championship that year. But the year of COVID, this core team of Baylor that won this year, that was a team during the COVID year. That team was going to win a national championship. This should have been a back-to-back Baylor championship run. But to go from rock bottom, remember, Baylor's going to get kicked out of the Big 12 for this scandal. We were going to lose our basketball program. It took Coach Drew 4 years so his first year they were ranked number 12 in the Big 12. His second year they were ranked number 11 above A&M. That third year, number 12 again. And that fourth year they ranked 11 above A&M again. And it was his 5th year. He finally got Tweety Carter, Baylor's first night done All-American, and just things changed from there. And so it goes to show you that patience, a good coach, and a good system, and then getting the right players, recruiting the right type of players, can change everything. And if you like stories of redemption, I mean, you cannot write a better story. Murder, scandal, this Ted Lasso type of head coach that they bring into the program, and then 18 years later, you win a national championship. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up.
Yeah, I like your clip that you've got, the little snippet trailer.
Yeah.
You did a great job with that. You got me really ready to see this weekend. I'm excited. Like I said, my father-in-law is one of the biggest Baylor fans that I know. Like, he follows football, basketball. Of course, he has his law degree from there, and he's excited.
Who's his dad?
Is
it John Minton?
No, well, his dad actually passed away when he was very young.
Okay.
They're from Jacksonville.
All right, I know some Mintons from Baylor in Tyler.
But well, my sister-in-law went to Baylor as well. Her name is Ashley Minton. She graduated high school in 2003, so she's a couple years below me.
Well, tell the whole men family to come up. Yeah, this is if they love Baylor and they love basketball, man. It's an amazing project that I'm just so fortunate I got to direct. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Would this be? I know in the documentary of course you had to sit there and interview with Coach Drew. Was this your first time meeting him on that type of level, or did you guys meet previously in the past before the documentary?
Yeah, no, that's a good character. That's my first time meeting Coach Drew, and I call him my co-director. I mean, he was instrumental. Everybody we interviewed, he wanted to interview.
Nice.
I would get a phone call at 6:00 Vegas time on a Wednesday. It'd be Coach Drew. He'd be like, "Hey man, can you come to Waco tomorrow?" I'm like, "For what?" He goes, "I got 5 people in town. They're all in town at the same time. You can interview them all." I'm like, "Okay." Then we have to be on a plane to Waco the next day. And just the whole Drew family I've gotten really close to during this process. And it's so funny, like Coach Drew, extremely busy person, but like I'll get a random text at a random part of the night that'll be like, "What's up?" Like I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And so he's just a real personal guy, like a real great guy, and you can just see why people love playing for him. You can see why his players love playing for him. He's a one of a kind guy, and you're gonna get his background and get his story all in this documentary. This is a 3-part series. Each part is about 55 minutes long. 6:00 p.m. at Caldwell Auditorium on Saturday. Doors open at 5:30. Tickets are $25. And this is my first project that I've ever been able to premiere and show in Thailand. And it just happened.
Okay.
It just so happened that when they put the Baylor Alumni Association put this tour together, they wanted Tyler into the mix, and I was like, absolutely, I want to go to Tyler. So
that's love.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You mentioned I knew of Bryce Drew. I because like I said, I'm weird. Brett probably knows the Valparaiso team.
That's the shot.
Remember that Valparaiso team?
Yeah, absolutely.
His dad was a coach, Homer Drew.
Yeah, absolutely. He's come from the lineage of basketball coaches and players, and I didn't know Scott Drew. And I'm like, okay, this is Bryson. This is his brother. Then he's a little brother. Like, the short.
Well, this is gonna be funny because Homer Drew and Bryce Drew are both in the documentary, and we had one cast member said he was a journalist from the Kansas City Star. He goes, when Baylor introduced Scott Drew as the head coach, he goes, "You mean Bryce Drew? No. Homer Drew? No. Scott Drew." It's like, who the heck is Scott Drew? Like, no one knew the third. Yep. Coach Drew, there were 3 Drew siblings, and Coach Scott Drew was the least athletic of the 3 Drew children.
Now, sometimes those kind of players make the best coaches a lot of times too.
Bryce Drew, his brother, was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. We all know how prestigious that honor is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His sister Dana Drew has her jersey retired at her university, right? And then you have Scott, the runt
with a national championship.
With a national championship.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So this is an interactive thing. We've got one just for you here. A message from Randall Doss. Chris is a Sea Hill legend, friends with his brother Adam.
Yeah, everyone knows Adam. Adam.
Yeah. I met your brother. You may not even actually. I mean, I know I ran into you before, but you from high school because I was very quiet. And I think when I was a freshman, you were a senior.
Yeah.
But most people, your group, know me because I hung out with Doty all the time. He kind of just dragged me.
Wilson.
Yeah, he dragged me along with him everywhere. So, 2 stories here, and I knew who you were. I remember. I don't even know if I should say this. I remember a time I walked into the cafeteria, and I have no idea what you were doing, but you have made Miss Holmes. You've made her so mad. She had screamed your name from across the cafeteria right as I walked in, and she said, "Get out right now!" And I remember thinking, like, that dude never gets in trouble. Never gets in trouble. I was like, I don't know what he did, but it must have been bad. It must have been bad. Then to my other story, I met your brother a little while later. Dodie took me and my brother out to play football. And so I met your brother, and he was amazing. Number one, he was amazing at football. That sucker almost knocked my teeth out of my mouth. I was so young. And I remember Dodie picked me up, and he said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, don't put me on him no more." Switch it up. He too solid.
This is your chance to get him now. Adam is feeble now. So you
that's hard to believe. Boy, he was solid.
Adam was diagnosed with diabetes last year, and his doctor has him on this diet that
okay.
I bet Adam is below 210 now. I
mean, wow.
He looks like a stick figure.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this. There was not too many times that I was actually afraid playing football. But when he hit me, and I mean, dude, he hit me so hard. He came at me, hit me so hard. I got up, and I had blood coming out of my mouth. I was like, no. I was like, I don't want no part of him. I was like, listen, I ain't said I'm scared, but that's a grown man. I'm only 14 years old.
you bring up Dodie's name, man. At Chapel Hill, my senior year, with studs like Dodie at running back,
Dodie was monster.
So intense. We were so intense.
Yeah, I could never believe that.
Yeah,
one game.
If you ever got a chance to see Dodie like play, and even like when we played backyard football, man, Dodie would just do some amazing things, and you just be like, how are we losing games when you got people like that playing?
Dodie hit me in the face once with a dodgeball, and man, that humbled me for the rest of my life.
Oh man,
I lost the case for like a week.
Yeah.
Speaking of, hey, we got your special guest, Chris. Looks like you're
there. He is right there.
Is that evil Adam?
Yeah, he probably looked. He said, "Yeah, that's that little boy I ran over back in 2000."
I don't remember him.
I don't remember him. I stepped over him though. I stepped over some kid.
But Adam probably at that age was probably about 300 pounds.
Man, I'm telling you, he was solid, and I was pretty solid for my size, so they matched everybody up, off of that. But again, I'm like 14. And Adam, is he older than you?
Yeah, Adam's older than me.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I didn't know who he was until he told me, and I was like, hey, Chris got a brother, and I was like, okay, all right, But man, I just remember running that football. I feel like Dodie set me up too. I feel like he set me up. I just remember.
Vince, you got hit. That's Chris, brother.
Dude, I'm telling you, when he hit me, I looked at my brother and I was like, I'm ready to go home. I have enough for the day.
I am telling you now. I hope he's not listening, but you can totally take Adam now.
Like, I don't want to mess with it.
He's listening.
Adam is no match.
He said that. Strength.
Yeah, I think Dodie set me up that time because now that I think about it, I feel like I remember them going back to the huddle laughing, laughing together.
So guys, clue me in on this. Like, why is Chapel Hill so good at everything now? Coach Johnson from the basketball team is going to have the boys basketball team there Saturday night. So shout out to him. Man, what is it in the water? These are people that I went to school with. These are their kids. At Chapel Hill.
Go ahead.
I would probably say it's been that way for years, and we all know. It's just I think now that I was kind of at the tail end of y'all are older than me. Obviously, I wasn't even in high school when you graduated, but I was a freshman afterwards. But I think it just has to do with the predecessor that came through Chapel Hill, and we have a rich athletic tradition with a lot of different things. We pinpoint athletes. Not all schools have that. All schools have good athletes that they can just pick from, and I think it's more of an East Texas thing. But the kids nowadays, they have. I don't think they don't remember us not being good at anything.
But
And I
that's
think that's the
good.
thing.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. And so they don't remember us not being good at anything. And so the only thing they really remember is, oh, we had a good basketball team. Oh, the football team had guys going, D1 every year. They were really good in football. They don't remember the bad times when, we really didn't have any, they didn't feed us going home on football games. There wasn't any money this
You get a
way.
cold
Or
whopper. You get a cold
yeah,
whopper.
Cold
or you can't do this, or we can't or we had to hope and pray that we made the playoffs because of the Palestine year that we made the playoffs and we barely got in and we went to Conroe and played and nobody remembers all those years.
Man, I remember that we played. Yeah, we played. Palestine played an ineligible player, and so we got to do
Yeah, I can remember they come to our I was in 8th grade when that happened, and I remember they came in our classroom and was like, "Hey, we're going to the playoffs now. Palestine's ruled ineligible," and then we played one game and we were done.
I remember going to that game. I remember that game.
Yeah,
for sure.
we played Navasota.
Somebody got hurt.
Man,
who was it? Who was it that got hurt? One of our running backs got hurt in the game, I think, and I can't remember who it was. But
I can't remember now, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Who the running back was?
The running back got hurt. I remember they put Willie Johnson in at running back for a few snaps.
Yeah, Adam probably remembers. He said that was his senior year. So he probably
was it Byron? Was it Byron Johnson?
Was that Byron then? Was that Byron back then?
Yeah, that was Byron Johnson.
That was Byron
Johnson. Yeah. We were hanging with him until he got hurt.
I dare to say Byron Johnson. If you guys have ever done a all-time Chapel Hill football team,
man,
Byron Johnson has to be the MVP, right?
If he wasn't the star running, I don't know. I don't think he broke. I think Tucker may have had the most rushing yards in Chapel Hill history.
So we've got a guy that's on the team, Chris, named Brisbane. He's got a good chance to put a pretty good stamp legacy on his.
Freshman quarterback.
Yeah, freshman quarterback.
Freshman.
And he started halfway through the season and led the team to the semifinals. So
yeah,
man, I was talking to Brandon Ogden from the Tyler paper this week, and he said Chapel Hill's loaded.
Oh yeah, we'll start the year in the top 10 for sure, maybe top 5. And we open the season with Gilmer.
Yikes.
Yeah, and we'll have all those games on Texan Live, Chris. So if you you can jump on there and get you a subscription. It's like $10 a month, and
absolutely,
we'll have all those calls.
I make a pledge today. Sign up for a membership tonight, man. What you guys are doing is amazing, and I don't want to get too political, but I want Chapel Hill to support that bond. We need a new middle school.
Yes.
We're getting left behind. Our facilities can't keep up. We can't match with other comparable school districts around East Texas. We need to pass that bond. That middle school is far past decrepit. And so the voice that you guys have here, the platform you guys have here, it is unbelievable, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there on Saturday. You guys are coming?
Yeah, I had something else planned. I thought I had it open, but I won't be able to make it. But I will definitely be supporting and throwing it out there. Hopefully we can put more on the website here, but I wouldn't be able to make it this Saturday. So
I'll be out there.
Man, I'm still tender. I can't wait to watch it either way.
It's gonna be awesome, man. And Brett, thank you, man, for
I'll be there.
Come on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And, I'll throw you guys the trailer. You put it up on your website. Do whatever you need.
Okay, awesome.
But man, would love to see as many of my Chapel Hill people out there as possible. And man,
is there a certain spot? Is there certain spots you want to meet us, Chris?
No. So your name is going to be on my guest list, and so you just come in and give your name. I already have
give
your
him our name.
Yeah.
Do you have Vince on there?
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw me in there. I'll be in there. I'll be on there.
Yeah.
So
man,
so
I'm
for
looking forward to seeing you guys. Yeah.
So for the people who don't know, when
awesome.
when is this airing and when can they view this and where?
So right now we're doing in-person theater premieres. We have one coming up in Waco on Friday night tomorrow, and then have one in Tyler on Saturday. The one in Tyler is at 6 p.m. at Caldwell Auditorium. Tickets are $25, and then we go to Austin twice. And then I can't say now, but we're in talks with a major worldwide sports leader for this to air on their network. And so that has been negotiated.
That's big moves.
Yeah, that has been negotiated as we speak. So
I saw the watch. I didn't want to say nothing. I said it must be doing all right. I saw the TV. I saw the AP. Yeah.
It's amazing what you can find in Las Vegas pawn shops, brother.
I know. Yeah. Money. Mayweather was like, you know what? I don't need this. Hey.
I'll take it.
Yeah, right. That's all good, man. I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on here, and looking forward to seeing you guys. And if you love it, shout it out for me after Saturday. And go Bulldogs.
We will. We'll definitely will. And we look forward to having you back sometime and talking a little Bulldog sports.
We'd love to. I try to keep up with Chapel Hill. Try to keep up with sports. Look, I bet sports quite a bit in Las Vegas. So if you guys ever need a line expert, hit me up. I got opinions.
Well, it's kind of convenient. It's hard not to being right there.
Yeah, I know.
I took Baylor. I will say this. I took Baylor at the beginning of last season, 1,400 to 1 to win the national championship. And I put $100 on it. I should have put more, but
wow,
$1,400 ain't a bad payday. But
no.
Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
Who's winning this year? That's what I need to know.
I think Gonzaga, man, it's their year.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, we're hoping for some horn action.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Get out of here.
That's what I'm looking for right there.
I know.
Get out of here. Vince, if you wear anything UT to Saturday.
Man, I was gonna bring my hoodie. I was gonna bring UT hoodie.
Hey, Vince, what size you wear?
2X.
You got a Baylor hoodie coming, compliments of the athletic department.
All right.
Have you seen it?
I'm gonna have to get you and Brett right, man.
I will say my dad graduated from UT, so I have legitimate roots to UT. I don't dislike Baylor, but I do have.
I don't dislike Baylor either.
Well, let me throw this jab at you guys while I got you here. Texas has shown that you just can't throw money at problems. It's a cultural problem. It's a cultural problem at Texas. Yeah. It's an entitlement problem at Texas. And they are paying. They're still paying Charlie Strong, right?
That's some hard truth right there.
They keep throwing money at problems and it's not working. Shaka Smart played y'all smartly. He knew y'all were gonna fire him. He's like, dude, I'm at Marquette. Man, Texas, these kids growing up who are playing football now, playing basketball, they're not growing up with Texas being the big bad Texas that it was. I think there's a culture problem down there, not a money problem. There's a culture problem. And we have shown that throwing money at problems and trying to hire these star coaches is just not the way to go. No,
you're right. I would say you're right. I can't argue that. And now we're headed off to the SEC, and
what is that all about? That is
I don't know.
It's all about this. Chris, it's all about
Brett,
this.
you guys are selling your soul.
Yeah.
I'm just saying about. I'm just saying that's for their thinking. I mean, it's money. It's not money in my pocket. I'm not making anything off the deal.
Honestly, I wish we would stay. I wish we would. I don't want to leave. I feel like, and maybe this is a little bit of what Chris is talking about, the entitlement, but I feel like we built the Big 12. You know, I feel like we.
You guys.
I feel like we put a lot of work in on that Big 12, man, and just to leave it high and dry to me is just like I can't leave my baby.
Look at it. Like since the college football championship, the playoffs have started.
Mm-hmm.
There's an easy path for a Big 12 team to make the college football playoffs. Had we not beaten Oklahoma State, had Baylor not beaten Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game, Oklahoma State would have been a playoff team. All Oklahoma State had to do was beat Baylor in the Big 12 championship game. They are a playoff team. Now, look, OU would sweep to the Big 12, and what would happen? They would get invited to the college football playoffs. Now you have to go through Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss. Like, why did you leave the easiest path to the college football playoffs to literally go to the hardest path possible?
It's like Brett said, it's got to be for the money because none of the other stuff make any sense. None of it makes sense.
I
will be glad to get my hands on. I want to get my hands on A&M. That's who I want to get my hands on.
So I don't want it like that though. I don't want it like that. I want to stay where I'm at.
I want to jump conferences just to play A&M. I don't want to do that.
But I don't want to jump the conference to play A&M. Nah.
I think to me it's more of it's a recruiting thing. You know, as soon as you put SEC on the back of your helmet, anywhere else, kids perk up. They don't want to play.
Yeah.
High profile kids don't want to play in the Big 12. And if we're going to be high profile, as Texas is a brand name. You got to go after the big kids. But that's the entitlement thing he's talking about. Is where we're Texas, we should be able to get these kids. You're losing them to LSU. You're losing them to Texas A&M is mopping the recruiting tool, mopping the entire state of Texas.
But you gotta think about this though. You gotta think about this. It's not that we're not getting. It's not that we're not getting decent recruits. We're not developing them. Like Chris is saying, it's a culture thing. There's something going on, and you seeing people who are coming out of. You are seeing people that are growing up right here in the state of Texas, and they're going to OU. They're going to you got the dude at Legacy that decided to go to Alabama. They're developing these kids, and I just don't believe that Texas is. We're still getting the same kind of talent. We're just not developing them.
So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. How many Texas A&M has thrown away, has traded, has let quarterbacks of high caliber go to any other school more than we've had at least a good starting quarterback to stay at Texas. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Kellen Mond has gone. He stayed. We actually stayed. Who else I'm missing? There was another quarterback that left Texas A&M. They've had like 3 or 4 that have left and gone on to start other places, and Texas has struggled to find a comparable quarterback that has played 4 years since Vince Young has played, or Colt McCoy, should I say?
Hey, rumor has it that Texas is one
of the
schools that Arch Manning is deciding on. Is that true?
Yeah. But again, if we don't develop him, he'll just be like everybody else that's come along.
Exactly.
He'll get developed. It just who's he throwing it to?
He's Arch Manning. I don't know that you're
the name is synonymous with passing success. So they're gonna get him because that's a Texas thing. I don't know. I like Dave Aranda. Shout out to Dave Aranda. He's got the culture change in Baylor, so y'all got it.
Yeah, we locked him up. I thought USC was gonna get him. If we didn't lose him this year, I don't think we're going to lose him. We have him locked up to 2029 now. So we're good. We're good.
That culture changed there. That's all you need.
And Dave Aranda. So when I was a huge Art Briles disciple, loved Art Briles,
Yes, I think
I
I think
loved his
I
I
offense.
love
I
it.
loved what he did at Baylor. He's the
Yeah.
reason why we have the stadium on the river now. Uh, you cannot convince me that UT did not have something to do with bringing down Art Briles. That's a whole nother theory. I will. I
If
will.
that is a documentary I would love to
Now,
watch.
yeah,
If
you need
that
to
is
give me
what
that
that is what
documentary,
I'm trying
Scott.
to
You need to
tell
give
you.
me that.
I can draw straight lines between the Baylor, the uncovering of the Baylor scandal
Yeah.
into Burnt Orange and UT Austin. I can draw a straight line. And
Wow.
it's not conspiracy. This is not conspiracy. This is not conspiracy. UT knew that as long as Art Briles was up the road on I-35, that Texas would get no skill players whatsoever. No skill players. Art Briles was eating up the skill players. They wanted
It
to win
was.
the system. And now you have this Longhorn Network, which is a subsidiary of ESPN, getting
Yes.
no viewership because UT is playing sucky football. Baylor up the road is playing dramatic, exciting, modern day football. And UT, who kept breaking these stories? It was ESPN, the Longhorn Network, and Burnt Orange kept breaking these stories about Baylor.
Hey,
This is not a
Hey,
conspiracy.
I think you've answered the question where your next documentary is going, Chris.
Man,
Yeah.
I bet if I put out on the Baylor Fans Sports Network, Sikkim 365, I bet if I put out on 365, I'm raising money to make a documentary about how UT destroyed Baylor football. I will
Wow.
raise $300K by next week.
Easily. Yeah, 10 million by the end of the year. Let's make it happen.
But to my point, Dave Aranda has done at Baylor what Art Briles could not do. Art Briles could never win the bowl games. The Cotton Bowl loss, the Fiesta Bowl loss. He could not, and then Matt Rule lost in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
We won an outright Big 12 title under Dave Aranda, and we won an outright Sugar Bowl. And we were projected to not. So I bet Baylor over 6 wins this year. And we were 10-2, 11-2, something like that. That was easy money. Easy money. So yes,
Defense is what's improved.
I will tell you, I was a little depressed when they beat the Horns. That sunk me down to a new low.
Oh, Vince,
I think we was on the show, and I
gave him that one. We gave him.
I told Brett, I said I don't want to talk about it. I was so angry. I was like, I just don't want to talk about it. Like it's just not
Vince,
good.
On Saturday, remind me to show you these awesome photos of me at that game. Cheers.
Yeah.
I do have to ask this. So you're on the field. You're on the field with the coaches and everything, which is phenomenal. And I was really jealous. I really was. I was like, he's holding the national championship.
I saw that. I saw that.
I was well, was it heavy? That's all I have to know. Was it heavy?
You know what? It wasn't heavy. It felt just right. It was just right.
Oh, man.
Interview's over. They don't try to get
But all those people who were hating, they wasn't in the gym with me when I was doing this, when I was getting that trophy. They wasn't in the gym with us.
And this is not to spot anything. And I say this because my sister, she was born in Waco. I didn't want to tell everybody business, but my family was I had some family there in Waco as well. And I say this like, you go through Waco, you wouldn't suspect Baylor was there if you didn't know it. You see the stadium, you see McLean Stadium, it's there. But many times I've been to Baylor growing up. Now they have the facilities coming out, the riverfront facilities that are coming out. And
the basketball arena is going to be on. It's a beautiful facility.
And so, and I'm like, if you're Texas, that's the last thing you wanted was for Baylor to get better facilities and a happening place on a Saturday during a football game or basketball game. That's the worst thing that you want. That's a great recruiting tool, and they were already getting beat thus far. And then they won the bowl game. They've ran it. They got a vibe going. Man, this it's love. And then the girls won a national championship, the men won a national championship. Of course, Kim Mulkey Robinson left, but Baylor girls are Baylor girls regardless. That name
Yeah.
is it's just like the Tennessee Balls.
Hey, I got the inside scoop on why Kim Mulkey left. If you guys ever watched that.
I'm always ready for the T now. Come on. I was waiting for this one.
If Coach Drew loses to Gonzaga last year, Kim Mulkey is still the girls' basketball coach at Baylor University. What happened was ego, pride, some hurt feelings, and what ultimately led to her decision was she wanted the arena, the new basketball pavilion, she wanted it built on campus. The university and the city of Waco had already struck a deal to have it on the riverfront in between downtown and the university. And also she wanted her name on the court. And the university said no to all of her demands, and she left. The day she signed at LSU, she calls a former regent who was a big supporter of the basketball program, he and his wife, and she told the regent, I want my job back. And he goes, it is too late. That ship has sailed. Those horses have left the barn. So she's at LSU. She'll say she's happy, but I think that she woke up with a very sober mind. I let my ego take this way too far.
I like him.
We love Mulkey. Mulkey could have been a legend at Baylor. There could have been statues. That court.
I'm not a Geno fan.
That court would have eventually been named after Kim Mulkey. It would have been, but man, this ego, the whole, her not being the top dog on campus anymore, man, that hurt the ego. And what does she do? She goes to LSU, where LSU's baseball team is great, their football team is great, their basketball team is decent. She might be the fourth program on LSU's sports hierarchy, and she was like one of two at Baylor. Yeah. The women's basketball team at Baylor ran at a $6.5 million deficit every year. $6.5 million every year. They gave Kim Mulkey everything that she wanted, and the program was not making money, but they still gave her what she wanted, and she still left. That's ego. That is ego.
She definitely wasn't Pat Summitt. And I guess she wanted her name on the court. But and then
it would have happened. It would have happened. Just not now.
Right. Just not now. Just not now.
Chill. So, take your multi-million-dollar year salary, your huge budget for a college women's basketball team. They flew private for recruiting. They stayed at the Ritz-Carlton doing recruiting. They got everything they wanted, and it still wasn't enough. So, God bless her. Thank you for what you did for Baylor. Hopefully, this new Coach Collins can keep the success going. But Kim Mulkey, man, she could have been a legend.
LSU's not a bad
for your kids.
Yeah. That's true.
Chris, I was going to ask one more time. Let everyone know how they can follow what you've got going on. If you got any social media platforms, and
man, follow me on Instagram at Chris Charles Scott. That's my name, Chris Charles Scott on Instagram. Check out what I'm up to. And if you're in Tyler on Saturday at 6 p.m. at Caldwell Auditorium, come see an ode to joy, the death and resurrection of Baylor basketball. It's going to be a fun event. We've sold a lot of tickets, and hopefully Tyler's shaping up to be one of our largest ticketed events. And I don't know if it happens to be because it's my hometown, or there's a large Baylor contingency or a large Baptist contingency who roots on Baylor. But whatever it is, I'm so excited to be in Tyler, be back in my hometown, and be able to premiere one of my documentaries in front of my hometown people. So if you're around, I'd love to see you guys. And Vince and Brett, I'll see you guys on Saturday night.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it very much. Thanks for coming on, Chris. Again, we'll have to have
Absolutely.
you on again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe after Texas wins the national championship, you can come back on and talk to us.
I will come and I will wear a Longhorn sweatshirt if that ever happens.
Oh, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
If Texas wins a national championship in anything in the next 3 years,
Woo!
I will get a Longhorn.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So
All right. Listen, book this.
So swimming counts. You said anything.
Hey, let me. Football, basketball.
No, he said anything.
Football and basketball.
Football and basketball.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will say this. Chris Beard, in year 3, Chris Beard will have us in the national contention.
Contention.
Final Four. Well, I'm just saying it's coming. I'm just saying it's coming.
It's coming.
He's got to get his recruiting class in there. Got to make sure all the transfer portal cleared up. But we will compete. But then again, we'll be in the SEC. But national championship. That's for Chris Beard and the basketball team. Moving to the SEC is a godsend. Like, he should be able to run the SEC. Mm-hmm. I mean, Auburn. Okay, you got Auburn. Auburn, Kentucky, LSU's not bad. Oh yeah, you're right. Let me shut up. Yeah, the Kansas is happy, but then again, Kansas gets Houston. Houston's not shaky either. Houston's really good. Cincinnati's man. SMU's not bad, but Kansas is gonna go undefeated. It's not a pushover. No, it's really not. Baylor and Kansas should be celebrating. I record on the SEC basketball coming. I was wrong. You're right. Kentucky, Florida, Alabama, Arkansas is good. Ain't bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be a gauntlet. So, but he's getting that recruiting. You get those kids easy. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys on Saturday.
All right. For Vince and Corey, our special guest Chris Scott. Thanks for watching tonight's weekly wrap-up show. We'll catch you tomorrow night. We'll be in White House covering the Gilmer and Canton game. I know we're covering through. That's perfect. Yeah.
He knows too. Chris knows. No love for White House. No love.
But if you want to be entertained by watching a girls' basketball game, Corey, Vince, and myself, we will make sure it's an entertaining watch.
All right.
All right, well, we'll catch you next time right here on the weekly wrap-up show. Good night, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.
Peace. Mm.